I think it has a good pace. I wouldn't describe it as fast paced. Probably when I started in my first year, I had to speed it up a bit because I had a goal, and so because I had a lot of courses to take, I decided to jam it up, which we'll consider it fast paced. Yeah, then, but right now it's calm because I'm just doing my thesis.
I think a lot of a lot of things impacts on how Vietnamese study lifestyle is faster. First thing I have to say about the exam-oriented culture. Vietnamese students always have to overcome a lot of exam, and they have to try to have the get score to come to a previous university to with hope a lot of the beautiful life in the future. And when I study in Vietnam, I always to study a lot and try to get high score, because if I don't do that, I think I don't have the better life in the future. But when I come to Germany for study PhD, I find people not smart about their high score. They very enjoy with study journey they have, and I think it helps them can just focus on your life, private life. Don't look around people do. So I think that's helped me another time to just focus on myself, on my goals and my dreams. So I think I like the way I have in Germany.
Biochemistry is really hard. There are a lot of exercises you need to do. There are a lot of things you need to know in order to pass the exams. For example, physics. We had physics 1 week ago, and it was all about doing exercise. Doing a lot of Übungen. Understanding what is, for example, impulse, mechanic. You need a lot of time, and if you are not really in it, you cannot, I believe, succeed. And also, for example, the chemistry, inorganic chemistry, everyone knows it's really hard. So it's fast paced. You need to put the time in it. You have no time to party. For example, I'm in the group, for example, for the university for organizing the events, and I can tell you that from the beginning I was planning to go to some events, but after I have seen what the professors expected from us, I didn't have the time to focus on it. And also I wanted to go in a football club, for example. And I didn't even have the time to do that, because I cannot put in my mind that there is something I don't understand. You feel me? I don't understand, and I'm going to play instead of learning about this thing. So it's really fast paced. Yeah, you don't have time for yourself.
There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of information to learn. I mean, sometimes it can be a bit hard to catch up with everything. There are lectures every week, new informations to learn, a lot of assignments to do. So sometimes it can be pretty hard to catch up and can be a bit fast-paced, but it requires a lot of time management to be able to do everything.
I came here in the end of 2021, when still I just came for a month in the campus. And then Corona burst out again, and they had the whole lockdown, Christmas party end up, and it was like staying in the ice age when everyone just come back. I stay in a German dorm, mainly German student. They just all came home and came back home, and then I was just along, and then the next semester everything come back normal. I pushed to the university. Studying, it took me quite a while. I think 1.5 years, 3 or 4 semesters. I really get used to listening German every day on campus, and because in my study I have to listen to German, and it's quite difficult. Even if I pass C1 level, but my teacher, who is also a foreigner, she's really good German, so when she said C1 level is not enough. And it's fast forward, just last year I discovered I have a heart defect. And then suddenly everything stopped again. I couldn't come to the campus that much. I just received my chief treatment in the end of last month, so it's a bit better now. And there's good day, bad day. Luckily today, not so bad day. That's why I'm here in the interview with you.
For the first thing I have to say about the language barrier, work in the group's team of my professor. Almost of them come from German. They just use German as the main language to discuss and present anything. For the first time, I didn't understand anything in this seminar or workshop, so I'm still very alone, and I don't know how to adapt with this culture, academic culture. So after 3 or 6 months, I changed my mind. Instead of focus on what they say, and I just focus on my research and try to make everything better for me. And right now, I feel better. But I think this time helped me a lot, because when I have the hard time to push myself to find the solution to deal with. And after that, I realized that how much I grow a lot.
When I want to interact with someone, for example, when I'm interested in interacting with someone, the German people are, contrary of what I believed, are really welcoming. They talk with you when you talk to them, and they're really responding. They're really interested in you. It's my experience. I believe interacting with people is not really the problem. The problem is people are also in studying, and you are studying, so everyone is occupied, so there is not really time to create bonds and stuff like that. Personally, my life as a student outside of my academic focus is also fast paced, because sometimes you don't even have time to cook something. You go at the supermarket, you take something, you have to cook, so it's really fast because you have to do something to do after. And for me also, I go, for example, at the swimming pool 1 time a week, because I believe it's good for my health. It's also fast because I need to plan that also, and sometimes I don't even go because, hey, there's this thing I need to do. If you get what I mean.
I focus a lot on my studies, so that means I have to I give little time to my social life sometimes. Since my priority is to study and learn, I'll spend most of my time doing that. So going out and enjoying life in general can take a back seat. But I think right now I'm just really trying hard to adapt to learning. To how it is here. So I think my academic life takes a majority of my time and energy in general.
Maybe because I'm come from the developing country, so I do think the pace in university not that fast, and like our schedule not that packed as it was in Vietnam and Japan, because I also study for a while in Japan. But how they expect you to certainly know things and like just get used to all their German academic rules and things is quite, I would say it's quite fast. Yes, and it may be just a difficult a big challenge for someone who not coming from the Western academic background. Well, I'll just give an example in my one class that there was a PowerPoint presentation. The two Chinese students, they would copy everything from Wikipedia. And then the teacher was really, really upset. But they don't know because Wikipedia was blocked in China, Kaya. And they was like, oh, it's amazing. They have all of information we need. The same thing with this, like, I didn't know there was certain research links and like resources that I couldn't use because they're not considered like officials or not considered like to have peer review or something like that. I'm still learning because I was never a researcher. This is my second bachelor, but I have to be honest, in my first bachelor, I do not do researching that much. It's like really just learn by heart and you pass all the tests. In here, I do think it's the first time ever I really have to use my brain. Maybe also, it sounds like excuse, maybe also because my previous work, I was professional interpreter. I never have to use my brain. I never had to think to say my own ideas, my own opinion about something. I always translate the other one's ideas into words. And they asked me, what do you think about it? I was like, what should I think about it? Anyone can give me any suggestion? It took me a while. I'm still have a very ancient mindset.
Definitely. Definitely. There's pressure. I mean, coming here has its own financial responsibilities, and so there's already that thought of I need to make the best out of this investment, and then also just for yourself, you can't be a failure. You have to, you have to make the best out of it. So there is pressure, and for somebody that always wants my things to be done well and done very well, I think I have a personal pressure on myself as well, which makes it extra. So I do have a lot of pressure on my head right now. Honestly, as a Christian, I think I just speak to God a lot, and I also try to take it a day at a time. Although I make sure that I achieve a lot in a day, I also try to be kind to myself and do things that make me happy or make me feel a bit more relaxed while still being practical.
Actually, because I'm still come from Vietnam with affected by exam-oriented culture, so I'm still feel stressful for study. But I try to change something to make my better. For example, find the hobby to help me relax after the stressful research. And I love Bayreuth so much because they around by nature, and I go for walk every day to find the fresh air and find the new idea for my research. And I think that helped me to balance between working life and life.
I believe so because it was my choice to come here. My dad, for example, told me I could go to France, as French is my first language, but I decided to come here because I wanted a challenge. I decided to come here because I believe that German universities are the greatest in the world, which I still believe. I feel pressured because it was my choice and my family warned me that if I come here it will be hard. Now I need to succeed. I don't feel the pressure like I don't want to do it, but I am obliged to do it. No, biochemistry is a passion to me. I want to study science. I want to understand the mechanical processes in the human body. I want to understand chemistry, physics, which is also interesting. I think that I study something that is interesting. I think that I study something that I like. So on this side, I don't feel pressured, but I feel pressured because if I do not succeed, like, I don't want to be among my family members and not succeed. It won't do anything. They won't judge me or something, but like, it's just a feeling, you feel me?
For me, definitely I have a lot of pressure to be success personally. Because when I drop off my job, this was really a good job, well-paying job compared to average salary in Vietnam. All my parents tell that I'm crazy. All my friends tell me I'm crazy. My coworker also think I'm crazy. And but I couldn't see my future in my former company. I mean, it's really good. I love my coworker. I also love being a interpreter in a game company. I like game, I like drawing, I like beautiful things in general. So it was very interesting. But I just heard from my boss that they have no intention to further educate and like train female interpreter.
I would just say for my university in Ghana, even writing, the structure of writing papers is very different from this place. They take plagiarism very serious here. Not to say we don't take it serious in Ghana, but you have your way around it, right? And this place is very serious, like how lecturers treat you, how the access you have to lectures. It's a very different thing that you have to, like, I'm not sure how to put it, but like you have to be able to integrate yourself into their academic system to understand it and to be able to excel in it. Because they don't just dash marks; they actually make sure that you deserve them. And then also the language is a huge barrier on its own, even on campus. Because sometimes when you go to the central library, although they know they're international students, they are more prone to speak German, which sometimes is like frustrating. But yeah, there are those kind of headlocks.
One of the biggest challenges I have to face during to study in Germany, I think, is language barrier. Because in Bayreuth University, I rely on most activity they use German instead of English. So for me, international student, I have never studied German before. So for the first time I came here, I feel very troubled. For go to the supermarket, everything with the label by German, I didn't understand. Or when I joined the group, they talk together by German, I didn't understand. So I find very difficult for me to have new friends. But after 3 German course I have in Bayreuth University, I start understanding some basic words in German, and I start have to solution to make new friends with that. And right now I feel better because I can use the basic German to go to shopping or doing something. And another challenge I have to face related to the academics life. Unlike in Vietnam, where I could easily to reach out my professor anytime. In Germany, I have to schedule an appointment with my professor, and it's make me a little bit confused for the first time. For example, for the first years, I have the new idea, and I really want to discuss with my professor. And I asked her for a meeting, and she told me she need to check her calendar, and she just have free time. I have to wait for 3 weeks to have meeting with her, and it's very trouble with me at that time. But right now, I know I have to checking her calendar, and if she have free time, I have to set a meeting with her.
When I arrived, it was 2 weeks before the start of my studies. So I went in a new city. I knew no one. I knew nothing about the life here. and my language skills were not so good at the time, so it was pretty difficult. And then I started with the studies, and as you said, it was fast-paced, and I didn't have time to really adapt to it. I am adapting to what is necessary. I would say I am adapting to studying hard 100% all the time to use my time wisely.
I've previously also lived in France before. So to me, Europe in general is something I've visited a lot. I've been here for a while. And it's not that much different, but I think for me what's the hardest to get used to is maybe the climate. It's very cold, it's very different from where I come from. It's a tropical climate, very hot for everything. The people here are also nice. The only problem is maybe the language barrier. I've been learning German for 1 year only. So it can be a bit hard to communicate with them. And if you can't communicate with them, like forming a connection, a lasting relationship with them can be a bit hard.
And I do think even like in Japan, I wouldn't have better adaptation because not only is language I understand better, but also because it's just like East Asian lifestyle. We all both use chopstick. Here, I didn't know even how to use cutlery properly, as with knife and fork and all the thing. If I'm coming to Germany, I really have to learn by myself through YouTube. So don't embarrass my boyfriend when he take me to fancy restaurant.
I just have the idea to come to Bayreuth University for studying, and after study I can come back to Vietnam for my life. But I just spent 4 years here to experience as much as possible. But if I want to settle down, I think it's not easy. Not easy to adapt with culture here, because very different between the Western culture and Asian cultures.
No, I don't think I have the heart to stay in this country for long. Yeah, it takes a lot of patience to live here, and I don't think I have more bandwidth for that. It's emotionally draining, you know. I haven't, well, for someone who has grown up and lived in a society where I feel like I'm home, being here, I feel like I'm not. I feel very different and out of place, and it's taking me so long, and I still don't feel integrated in it. So it's like, so when does that happen? So it takes a lot for you to emotionally allow yourself to stay in a space where you're always striving to be seen. And I don't think I can keep doing that anymore. I've done well. It's time to move on to the next.
I also had some years in foreign country before, so we can do comparison. I will not compare to my motherland because of course people always bias and think the motherland is the best. But I can just say comparing to Japan, there was things that in German is better, and there was side that was worse. I think the thing is a bit better is that German people are very straightforward. So I don't have to think a lot about, oh, they are praising me or they are doing passive aggressive to me. And the others, and the other side is because they're straightforward, they're not afraid to harm you verbally when they're racist. In Japan, they do not do it that much. They even talk behind the back more. But in Germany, I can tell you some really annoying experience, like when it was a train or the bus, because I visit my boyfriend often, the German children, they do like this, and they call me Binchiling, or they call me Corona. I always remember the first thing when I told you that I come here to Indiana 2021, and then only 1 month on campus, and then they was locked down again, right? And the Christmas market here was cancelled. And I was waiting for the bus in the bus station. Then there was 3 German teenagers. They pulled my backpack, and they keep yelling at me, Corona, come back to your country, something like that. I always stop and I threaten, I would call police. And they try to cover their face. I pull out my phone and I try to record them. And of course, they pull their head and they try to cover their face and ran away. Well, if you are a foreign student, you know a little bit of German, you already know what's gonna happen to the next vote, election, right? AfD winning a lot of. So I'm a bit worried about my future in Germany. Maybe I should do as they say, come back to my country. Yeah, but the thing of future, and to be honest, with our German passport, I have no right to talk about, right? As some people may say. So I just hope that I can just successfully finish my study here and then maybe in the future and go to other country who is a little bit more open to foreigner.